I'm still trying to get that good microphone, people. So, I'm just gonna start this assuming you all know what RWBY is, and move on from there. A recap of 124 is on my channel. I'll get volume 5 done now. So post Crow almost gaining poisoning stronger than any alcohol he'll ever have, and a trip that took way too long, the 5 finally make it to Mistral. And oh, what a surprise, it's exactly like how the world of Remnant portrayed it. There have been some retcons. It's basically Japan. So we meet Leo, who's a lion faunus headmaster of Signal, Mistral's beacon. Turns out he's in Salam's pocket, and has been willingly sending huntsmen out to their deaths, because Salam ordered him to. Yeah, I never really liked him, and thought he'd repent, and at least become likable, but he never did. So anyway, Oscar, wait, never talked about him. He's a farm boy who has Ozpin in his brain. He met Hazel, big man that works for Salam in volume 4, and seems to be the only person that pets the dog on the enemy team. I actually really like him, and hope he doesn't get shunted aside in volume 6. Oscar ends up meeting the crew, and Ozpin reveals that the myths they spoke of, the two brothers, one being God, and the other being the anti-god, well, they're real. The maidens are living links to them, and Ozpin is the wizard in those tales, forced to reincarnate until he kills Salam. He shares a body with Oscar, because he left his old one. Of course, no one bothers to ask a simple question. Whatever happened to the old body's personality? You know, I really don't want to answer that, because I'm sure that Miles and Carrie are going to answer that question later on. So there's talks. Crow fails to find help, and runs into a cameo by a bridged Piccolo. Dodge! Meanwhile, Adam, who ditched the cool code for a stupid zipper suit, talks with Sienna Khan. She actually defies him, and calls him out, that he's just a splinter faction, and that she's actually in charge of all the White Fang. Sadly, trying to deny Adam ends up with her dead. I'm hoping that there will be flashbacks or a fake death to establish her more. I can confirm that Monica Ryle, her voice actor, is up for it. So meanwhile, on Menagerie, Blake is still not getting any closer to plot resolution. Meanwhile, the Albane twins, Fox brothers in charge of the White Fang, are still plotting. Ilya, remember her, signals that she actually wants to change and be a good person. Then it's revealed that Ilya loves Blake. I don't know how to feel, because I'd like Sun, he tagged along in Vol 4, shirtless tailed boy, to get Blake, because all the hints are there, but I'd like Ilya to be happy. Oh, she found someone in the finale? Okay, never mind. So yeah, the Menagerie plot finally closes with the White Fang going to assassinate Gira and Callie, Blake's parents and former White Fang members / leaders. It fails, but it scared us good when it happened. Also, one of the Albane twins gets pancaked, and the other does a golden impression. Ilya turns good, and all the Faunus ship out, to Signal on a ship. They met Captain of Ship in volume 4, forgot to mention him. Yang is still on her bike, post volume 4 finale, and runs into a lookalike of Bakugo from My Hero Academia, who works for Raven, her bandit mum, and all around at @ash% at ash $carat $ash carat ash $carat ash and asterisk% at $% hash $an. Sorry. While there, she meets Whis, who got kidnapped because of the attack and death of the Platon ship she took in Vol 4's finale. So yeah, Raven reveals that the whole bird thing, it's a magic thing that Ozpin granted them. Raven tries to spin it so that she can get Yang to join, but Yang ain't believing. After that conversation, Raven sends Yang and Whis to where Crow is with her semblance, which is portals connected to peoples she loves. So we have 3 of 4 RWBY members back. After some conversations and angst, the group of Crow, Rubes, Whis, Yang, John, Nora, and Ren, yes, the last 3 exist still, go to Signal. Yang ends up seeing through Raven's bird form, and it ends up being revealed that Raven made a deal with Cinder, Emerald, Mercury, and Vinahem Watts. She wants the relic inside of Signal. There's 4. Signal's the closest one. So a fight ensues. Whis gets stabbed, bringing out PTSD in the fandom. Hazel voids out upon seeing Ozpin and scares the fandom. John reveals his long-awaited and already known supercharger semblance and becomes the mercy of the team. Medic! A universal alright emanated from the fandom. So meanwhile, Vernal, the Spring Maiden, that Raven took in, Cinder, and Raven head to the relic room. It's pretty nice actually. Then Cinder pulls the rug out, kills Vernal, but doesn't get the Spring Maiden powers. That's because Raven's the maiden.
It's me, Austin! It was me!
So we have maiden on maiden fight. Aside from Cinder's missing Iron Grim made arm to absorb power, which ends with Cinder frozen and cast into the bottom of a pit. Guess she fell. Meanwhile, Ruby gets mad and nothing is done with it. Curse you budget restrictions. And Yang shows restraint, then calls out her mom. Much like how Cinder reacted to Raven mocking her, Raven blows it off. Until Yang gets an emotional crit in, pointing out that Raven's plan to not be attacked because of holding a relic and having leverage will just make her be attacked by Salem more. Arms race in a nutshell. Raven breaks finally and leaves. As the end credits reveals, to Taeyang, Yang and Ruby's dad. He's not happy. Finishing the finale, the White Fang is present, but Fornasomi arrives, defeats them. Adam runs off like a coward. The relic is secured for the good guys. Bad guys leave. Salem scares us all. And then Blake finally meets the group again. And that's it. That's all of volume 5. 7/10. There are a few moments where they dropped the ball, but they always picked it up again on something else. It's different, and it finally managed to stop the 4 different stories plot. For that, it gains points. So yeah, that's it. See you in like 5 months, when volume 6 comes out.